Alright, what we got going on in the Teeling family today? Looks like filed on, was written on March 19th. And run down and clocked at the courthouse on March 20th. Got a motion to dismiss in the case of me versus my trustee. So I, Patricia Marie, trustee, defendant, request a motion to dismiss for the following. I wish she wouldn't have stamped over that for the following reasons. This is wild. She's got 6 line items here, and when I read it should be 10, or roughly there around. It shouldn't even be that many, because a lot of stuff doesn't even have to do with this. But number one, a trust fund does not exist. What exists is a revocable living trust, of which I am a trustee. No one may receive anything from it until I am deceased. So there's not a trust doesn't exist, but we have a trustee for the trust that doesn't exist on a revocable living trust. So that trust doesn't exist, but she's a trustee to it. It's kind of why we're here, to find out what's going on with this trust that doesn't exist. That hasn't existed for years, which is an absolute lie. So moving on, number 2. The plaintiff was intentionally removed from this document December 1st, 2021 for reasons best known to me. What are those reasons? You amended the trust document, and that's in my suit as well. It's a main contention in my suit that you were to furnish copies of any amendments to the trust to the beneficiaries. And any amendments must be done within the scope of the declaration of trust. You can't just go taking people off and changing things. It has to conform to the declaration of trust, which I have never seen. And that's what we're trying to get here. She knows what's in it. Jonathan knows what's in it. I don't know what's in it. And that's what we're here to do. Number 3, the plaintiff is ignorant as to what a revocable living trust is. She's all hung up on this revocable living trust. Yes, things can be revoked until they become irrevocable, but it's still a trust. You still have to adhere to Uniform Trust Code and the laws that pertain to a trust. Her petition or remedy has no place in this type of private document. Private, my name's on it. Where's your legal argument? Where's your legal basis that I have no place or no remedy? He provides a controversy, must provide the remedy. It's a legal maxim. She's so hung up on private. This private document serves in place of a will, which requires that the trustee, myself, be deceased. So instead of making a will, you made a trust, and then you're going to call it a will? Doesn't work like that. It absolutely doesn't work like that. That's why we need to see. That's why I'm compelling these documents, because we need to see what she did. She's twisting trusts into wills, just whatever suits her whim. She didn't think that anyone would ever, not anyone, that I would ever find out about this. So, the trustee, myself, must be deceased. Well, that would be contained, all these line items would be in the declaration of trust. And there's a whole set of rules and laws that outlines how this stuff works. And that's why we need to see it. And then she goes, number 5, this gets really, really alarming. It gets really garbled. It has things in here, statements in here, that have nothing to do with the subject matter or the instant matter. There's all sorts of third-party stuff that has nothing to do with the case between me and my trustee. So she says she was granted a final judgment of injunction for protection against stalking on June 4th, 2021. She got a cyber stalking injunction on me for 6 months. So that lasted till December of 2021. because I sent her a certified letter, and she said I was going through her garbage, and what else she said? She said I was going through her garbage. No evidence of that. She said I gave out her bank account numbers. There's no evidence of that. No police reports made, and that has nothing to do with this case. It's 2024 now. It's 3.5 years ago. But it says this has not stopped the plaintiff from continual harassment from that date to the current. All right, what's this harassment? I think we spoke once on the phone. Is there a police report about the harassment? Did you file another injunction against me? I don't see that here. And then she goes on to say she has harassed myself. How? My elderly sister in Massachusetts. How? And why isn't her elderly sister my aunt? She acts like I have no affiliation with this family. Like, she doesn't mention she's my mother and my trustee. My elderly sister, that would be my aunt. Her grandson, which is my son, and my grandson's mother. Where are all the... There is an injunction by the state from my for my son that's been going on 2 years now. But how come these people haven't called the cops or got restraining orders? And what does it have to do with this case? This has nothing. She's talking about harassment. This is about compelling trust documents. And get this, that this should be a separate line item. It shouldn't even be on here. This should require a police report. She said I have received anonymous telephone calls warning me that the plaintiff has offered money when she received it to have me harmed. Just, wow, more anonymous phone calls. Did she call the police about this? People are calling and threatening harm to her? Where's the police report? Where's the investigation on that? Where's the documentation of that? All these anonymous calls, they haven't stopped for 3 years. They've gone to, I don't know. She may have got one, she may not have. I don't know. If I got a call like that, if I was a normal person, I would go and tell, notify the police about it. It's a different story because they wouldn't do anything to me because I have got threats and they don't do anything about it. But where is the incident number? Where's the report number? Where's the police report? That's it. If you're being threatened with bodily harm, or does it say bodily harm? Oh, it says plaintiff has, all right, let me reread that. I have received anonymous telephone calls, so more than one call, warning me that the plaintiff has offered money when she receives it to have me harmed. So she's getting multiple calls, and have her harmed how? Have you harmed in what way? And who's making these calls? She's getting many of them. We think that there should be a police report to back that up. And an investigation, depending how these calls say she was going to be harmed. Then she goes on, she has impersonated me to get copies of personal documents which she has posted on our YouTube channel. What are the personal documents? What personal documents? There's no evidence of it. It's posted on my YouTube channel. Let's go ahead and put that on there. But she didn't. She's just vague. And this has nothing to do with this case. Then she goes on to say something else that doesn't have to do with this case. She defied the Honorable Judge Kimberly Sharpbird's order to neither record nor play our bench trial, which took place on December 8th, 2022. This was played live on YouTube in defiance with Judge Sharpbird's order. It remains online to be viewed by anyone. The order that came from the judge wrote an order based on an anonymous phone call. And they gave no judicial reasoning on there. Anonymous phone call being hearsay. Kimberly Sharpbird wrote an order on that. And it has nothing to do with this case. And then she says, she's on 6 now, but it should be like 10. It shouldn't even be that. Like the first 2-3 lines, maybe. But there's no legal framework in there. There's no statute numbers. There's nothing in opposition to the statute and the case law that I put in my motion. So yeah, she said, I hereby attach 2 screenshot posts from her YouTube channel, which clearly speak to her contempt and disrespect for the court system. Please see attachments A and B. What is my personal opinion, or what you perceive to be my personal opinion on my government that I'm allowed to address have to do with this case at hand here, which is compelling trust documents that she says doesn't exist, and it does, but it's a will, that I'm ignorant. So she puts in, I don't know, these are too dark to read. It just community posts, me documenting my life. Nothing has nothing to do with compelling trust documents. Just she wants to make me look in a bad light or whatever. But there's no basis in this. And once again, she did not serve me. Florida civil procedures require, it's law that you have to serve the opposing party. She's done this before, and she did it again. She flat out failed to serve me. So, yeah, that's that. This is her doing whatever she does here. I love this. The plaintiff was intentionally removed from this document December 21st for reasons best known to me. Once again, that's a trust amendment. It has to follow the structure of the trust and the declaration of trust. It's got to be notarized. It's got to come to me. Any alterations or amendments need to be provided in writing to the beneficiaries. They have to be supported and allowed within the framework of the trust and the trust declaration, which is reasons best known to me. Well, why don't we elaborate on them? I should have got a copy of that. Why on earth would you remove a trust beneficiary that's been homeless for going on 6 years now and is fully and permanently disabled? Just unbelievable. But she keeps saying private documents, and they got my name all over it. They had my name on it from whenever this thing was formed, 1999, up apparently until 2021. My name's on it. They're not private. She just fraudulently concealed them from me. And I think when she's talking, when she doesn't elaborate, she doesn't say what kind of the other private document that she said I impersonated her to get. I believe, and she's not going to come out and say it here, would have been the divorce decree. My family. I'm a product. I'm a member of this family. I mean, apparently not. I was removed at one point in time. I was ejected. We don't know what year that was. But that's a private document to her. Her private documents. A divorce. My family. My parents. My brother's name's all over it. My name's not on there. They wrote me out of the divorce too. Like I never existed. But yeah, so she's violated civil trial procedures once again. So we'll see what the judge says about this. There's nothing that, if anything, it harms her. But the way this court works, they should give me a summary judgment because she violated civil trial procedures, and she's got nothing here. The trust fund does not exist. What exists is a living trust, a revocable, irrevocable, whatever you want to call it. A trust fund does exist. You state it right there. The trustee, you are the trustee of a trust that doesn't exist. That's being treated as a will, that's being used for whatever purposes. Needs to be seen, and that's why I'm doing this. I should have been shown this 60 days after the creation of it. Anytime the trust was amended. And accountings of every penny spent. And how it conformed with the Declaration of Trust. But there's like a million things I can add, but just going to throw this up here. But yeah, best we got here is some community posts, just trying to paint me in a bad light, which has nothing to do with this. It's my government. I can complain about it. I can redress it. There's nothing to do with the trust. The Teeling Family Trust, it doesn't exist.